Hi everyone, I hope you're having an amazing day. I'll try not to move too fast because this camera likes to freeze, right? I too screen the videos that I create, and when I look back and I see how I freeze for like damn near 8 minutes, that's why it's worth it for me to like always check in and make sure that it's functioning properly. So please excuse that. I hope your day is going great. I hope your week has started on the right foot, right? It can get a little daunting, but also very motivating. A lot of us are putting a lot of things to action, and we're really excited to see how things pan out. And it's always in the Most High's hands, first and foremost. And Proverbs gives us a great pointer, and like I said, these weird numbers show up in my life constantly. If it's not in the law, it's in the scriptures, and 13 is one of them, along with 7. So Proverbs chapter 3 verse 13: happy is the man or woman that finds wisdom, and the man that gets understanding, because that is so important. No matter what topic you're talking about, I'm extremely grateful. Like throughout, we've all been knuckleheads, right? We've all done things that we wish we didn't do, and I wish that I had more educated or a little bit more awake women around in my life, but I was the one that woke up to so much that it was just too much for people to comprehend. So I'm just really thankful, and regardless of what happens here on out, I'm very grateful for the truth. And the truth goes across the board in all ways. Like, I like to go into law, different things that people can do for remedy, ways to save money, holistic information, history. All of it has a lot of merit. You'd be surprised how many professionals I talk to on a daily basis who have, they're humble enough, which I so appreciate, to literally say they have no clue about history or anything. So, bear with them when it comes to a lot of stuff. But protein powders are huge, and I was inspired to do this. I'll keep this as general as possible out of respect for the individual that I have in mind. Now, I was the one in my so-called circle that would be clamoring and say, stay away from the chemicals, do things naturally if you can. People have been doing it for millennia. We don't need all this gene editing stuff, this extra stuff. I mean, ooh, if you can find it at Walmart, surely it's good for you. Gene Pro, what kind of genes are in there? For all you know, it could be animal DNA. A lot of it, like the taurine, is straight up bull DNA. You do not want to do this to your temple. Of course, I get flagged when I say too much about this topic. That's why I'm starting and in the process of putting together my non-profit private organization to help people, and to get an area where I can be better suited to do that, and to help those who are seeking natural holistic remedies and to get away, right, from the chemicals that are out there. But this is a huge deception, I just gotta call it. When I was younger, a lot of people get into physical fitness, guys. You notice that? Now this is the way a woman's supposed to look. A lot of women get into this a lot later in life. You can tell that they're feeling a sense of loneliness. They want to feel a sense of relevance, belongingness, this community that it provides. But again, all is vanity. It is a very vain and very heathen-minded type of sport. It's not like you're really helping, men and women and children with this stuff. It's putting up an ideal that is not even natural. For me, I don't think it's cute. That's me. And don't say, oh, it's because you don't do that. You don't know nothing about me. I was quite the athlete growing up. I don't work out like I used to because I don't feel the need. I don't feel the need. Do I still have some muscles there? It's not there like it was before, but you know, it used to be like really popping. I actually had to slow down because I was getting too ripped. It was like retarded. People were like accusing me of taking steroids. This is when I was in high school. I was just in track. I have my dumbbells, you know. I don't need to, as long as it's not flapping all over the place, I just like to keep it tight. Just to feel strong doing the stretches. This takes it to another place because a lot of this individual that I'm thinking of, a lot of these people are controlled. They're owned, right, by the corporations, by the products that they push. Like, they're always pushing some brand, right? They're always like, oh, use my discount code. When I give people discount codes for my, you know, Dash eBay, that's my own store of my own products or things that I resell. You know what I mean? I'm not controlled by anyone. Unincorporated over here. So they're always pushing. So you know, I mean, they have a vested interest. You know, they get connections like that too. But a lot of this stuff you wouldn't be surprised because everyone thinks, you know, I was in great shape and I just ate whole foods and it wasn't all protein. They make you think if you drink and eat enough of this garbage, you're gonna be like looking like these people after a few sessions in the gym, and that's just not true. And the individual I'm thinking of, they're shook because a lot of the stuff has additives. That's not even like the whole shebang what I wanted to show you. Because Harvard, you know, people really need their sources, and I'm all about the sources too. If you just Google dangers of protein powders, you're gonna see so much information, right? It's not even funny. So let me just read a tad for you. Let's see. The hidden dangers of protein powders. This was dated April 10th, 2020. They may contain added sugar, calories, or even toxic chemicals. Exactly. You don't know what's in there. Anything can be ground up in there. Just think about it. You know, what happens to just eating food? It says adding protein powder may seem like a simple way to increase your protein. Right here, to boost your health. After all, protein is essential for building and maintaining muscle, bone strength, and numerous body functions. And many older adults don't consume enough protein because of a reduced appetite. But be careful, a scoop of chocolate or vanilla protein powder can harbor health risks. I don't recommend using protein powders except in a few instances. And when you read on and you learn about it, it's literally if you're like life or death, if you literally can't even eat real food. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that, and it has to be supervised. It says, what is protein powder? Protein powders are powdered forms of protein that come from plants. Soybeans, you got to look up the dangers of soybeans. Peas, rice, potatoes. Oh yeah, solanine poisoning. Look up solanine poisoning with potatoes and see how healthy potatoes really are. Or hemp. We know hemp's good for you. Grow your own hemp. You know, cannabis leaves itself is edible. Eggs or milk, casein or whey protein. The powders may include other ingredients such as added sugars, artificial flavoring, thickeners, vitamins, and minerals. The amount of protein per scoop can vary from 10 to 30 grams. Supplements used for building muscle contain relatively more protein, and supplements used for weight loss contain relatively less. Okay, there's a disclaimer. There are numerous risks to consider when using a protein powder. Among them, a protein powder is a dietary supplement. The FDA leaves it up to manufacturers to evaluate the safety and labeling of products. So there's no way to know if a protein powder contains what manufacturers claim. We don't know the long-term effects. There are limited data on the possible side effects of high protein intake from supplements. It may cause digestive distress. People with dairy allergies or trouble digesting lactose, milk sugar can experience gastrointestinal discomfort if they use a milk-based protein powder. It may be high in added sugars and calories. Some protein powders have little added sugar and others have a lot, as much as 23 grams per scoop. Some protein powders wind up turning a glass of milk into a drink with more than 1,200 calories. What's the risk of that, you ask? Weight gain and an unhealthy spike in blood sugar. So look at this new risk. This is what a lot of us knew all along. Earlier this year, a non-profit group called the Clean Label Project released a report about toxins in protein powders. Researchers screened 134 products for 130 types of toxins and found that many protein powders, sorry about the noise guys, contained heavy metals. You hear that? Heavy metals. Like what? Lead, arsenic. Is big enough for y'all? Let's see. Let's look at this. Monstrosities. Lead. Oh, that is so great for your physical fitness, guys. Arsenic, cadmium, mercury. We know what that does to the brain. Guys, please, I don't even know you, and I care about your health more than these freaks who are pumping this stuff, trying to make you think, oh, you take a few shakes. I used to do the shake thing for a little while, and it just made me sick. I wasn't in any better shape from drinking that junk, to be honest with you, never. And it was just because I had so-called relatives, if you want to call them that, because they're a bunch of weirdos. And they're always pushing like such dangerous stuff, and I'm just like, knock it off, right? And they just don't want to hear it because they're just so into their vanity. But yeah, you're going to start seeing people like that pay the ultimate price if they want to face reality or not. So look, you got pesticides, mercury, bisphenol A, BPA, which is used to make plastics, pesticides, and other contaminants with links to the big C word, cancer, which this individual I have in mind is showing symptoms of that. Is already showing symptoms, but you think that they're going to face reality and stop pushing. It's like the Most High will curse you. You push these toxic substances onto the masses, well, guess what? You're going to be the first one to show the effects. That's what I think. So with links to cancer and other health conditions, of course, kidney failure, look up the results of what happens if you take too much protein. Too much protein can be a bad thing. You only need so much. Some toxins were present in significant quantities. For example, look at that. One protein powder contains 25 times the allowed limit of BPA. And I know you're going to say, oh, not all are bad. Hey, that's on you. Okay, you can find protein in spinach, in look up all the protein sources that you don't even find in meat. They're all over. There's no need. And a lot of us are deficient in other minerals, right? So why don't you, worry about what you're deficient in, which is vitamin D, vitamin C. A lot of us, you know what I mean? So many, there's other vitamins and minerals that we need to consider, is what I'm saying. So how could protein powder contain so many contaminants? The Clean Label Project points to manufacturing processes, the way they extract it, all chemically extracted, or the existence of toxins in soil. When they spray all their nasties, right, absorbed by plants that are made into protein powders. Now, all the protein powders that were tested contained elevated levels of toxins. You can see the results at the Clean Labels Project's website. So they say you need around like 46 grams a day. Let's see if this comes up. Tried doing this yesterday. No, I think you have to click on a certain tab. If it'll even let me, because it just goes to the main. Let's see, clean this project, pesticide, health and fitness. Maybe we can go here. Does it tell us? If you wanted to like look up all this, let's try one just to see how this would look. Try to maneuver our way through this interface. Or is it just this just takes you to a shopping thing. I don't know. Transparency project. Maybe that's what we need. I guess you can purchase items as well on this page, but we want the transparency. Welcome to the revolution. Real information, real time. Let's look at CBD gummies. Does it say anything? Doesn't say much. It just says lot number, capsule alert. There's a CBD shot. I'd be really careful about that stuff. Best, worst. The best and worst protein powders. There you are. I was like, where are you? They don't make it easy to find. So these are the best and then the worst. So let's look at the worst. I don't like any of them, but you're gonna do what you're gonna do. The worst. Is it this? Wicked protein, no good. Wicked protein. Nature's one. Look at all this stuff. And these baby formulas. You know how they're making a whole to-do about the baby formulas? That's all crap. Do you know baby formula inherently is straight up trash? If you didn't know, you might as well just starve your child. There is no nutritional value. There was a reason why you were supposed to breastfeed, and if you can't, you can use raw goat milk and things like that. There was no need to use this formula. Just think about it. Just think what that sounds like. So I don't know if this is the word, well, you got the word wicked, if this is the worst list or the best list, because you just go to the best and worst up top. This is the Clean Label Project, if you want to go check this out yourself. Okay. View best. Let's see if this comes up. I mean, to each their own. I'm not into any of them. It says purify liver. All these are okay, but again, a lot of people say a lot of this fish oil can be tainted. It's totally up to you. Why not just go from the actual source itself, guys? You know? And what happens if you eat too much protein? What are the risk factors? And, you know, if there's any type of side effects that you'll experience, you know? It says high protein diets have also been associated with several risks that are important to be aware of and understand. Nutritional experts don't advocate consumption to exceed the recommended daily amount. So there is risk. You know, you'll have, the body has such a delicate balance, and we're to respect that balance, you know, because if you don't, and guess what? It's going to do what it do, guys. You're going to be like, why am I going this direction when I'm doing this and that, right? Because you got to respect your tempo. And we need to even focus on the other tasks at hand, right? High protein diets may tout weight loss, but this type of weight loss may only be short term. Excess protein consumed is usually stored as fat, while the surplus of amino acids is excreted. This can lead to weight gain over time, especially if you consume too many calories while trying to increase your protein intake. A 2016 study found that weight gain was significantly associated with diets where protein replaced carbohydrates, but not when it replaced fat. See that? So again, they always push in like you to be scared of carbs as well too, right? Eating large amounts of protein can lead to bad breath, especially if you restrict your carbohydrate intake. Yeah, keto this, keto that. I don't think that's the way. In an older registry, 40% of participants reported bad breath. This could be in part because your body goes into a metabolic state called ketosis, which produces chemicals that give off an unpleasant fruity smell. Brushing and flossing won't get rid of the smell. You can double your water intake, brush your teeth more often, and chew gum to counter some of the effect, only some. In the same study, 44% of participants reported constipation. High-protein diets that restrict carbohydrates are typically low in fiber. Okay, diarrhea too can happen. Dehydration, your body flushes out excess nitrogen with fluids and water. This can leave you dehydrated, even though you may not feel more thirsty than usual. A small 2002 study involving athletes found that as protein intake increased, hydration levels decreased. However, a 2006 study concluded that consuming more protein had a minimal impact on hydration. No, you really do get thirsty. Eat a freaking burger and all that without a drink. They say, oh, no major studies. Oh, they're out there, but this is the big kicker. What happens to your kidneys? High protein intake. Yep. Kidney damage in healthy individuals. Excess protein can cause damage in people. They say, use your best judgment. I find all people have this risk. This is because of the excess nitrogen. Your body will produce excess nitrogen found in the amino acids that make up proteins. Damaged kidneys have to work harder to get rid of the extra nitrogen and waste products of protein metabolism. So separately, a 2012 study looked at the effects of low carbohydrate, high protein versus low-fat diets on the kidneys. The study found that in healthy, obese adults, a low carbohydrate, high protein weight loss diet over 2 years was not associated with noticeably harmful effects on renal filtration, albuminuria or fluid, and electrolyte balance compared with a low-fat diet. What they're saying in their mumbo jumbo, it's not much different than a low-fat diet, and you need to look up if a low-fat diet is even good for you. So yeah, I would infer that these things would be quite the risk factors. So look, increased cancer risk, guys, okay? So when you see these people pushing, yeah, you're gonna look like me if you take a few of these scoops, those are devils, okay? Do not even let that get to you, because there's a hefty price for them doing these extreme tortures. And it is extreme torture and self-mutilation, because your body wasn't meant to go through that much trauma and stress. It's good to, a few days a week, do your strength training, do your cardio, do your stretching. It's common sense. Okay, it's common sense. People are just indoors too much. If you were outside, if you're being more physically active, if you're moving around, your body would just naturally be what it needs to be. And I'm proof positive. Okay, I used to work out like a mad woman, and it was just all for naught. It's stupid. Moderation is key. So studies have shown that certain high protein diets that are particularly high in red meat based protein are linked to an increased risk of various health issues, including cancer. And then you got even eating protein from other sources. They say it has to do with meat, but again, if you got the toxins and all of that stuff, right, in the powders, that's just common sense. So it can hurt your heart. And calcium, it doesn't matter if it's just for meat, guys. Too much calcium, right, will lead to osteoporosis and poor bone health. Okay, and signs. This is deficiency. We don't want deficiency. We want excess. Overloading on protein. Yes, of course it can be too much. The body can process a limited amount of protein, thus turning excess protein into fat. Overloading on protein, this is correct, and there's a lot of research on that. You're going to have to dig, but they allude to it in a lot of it, but you're going to see these people have this later on in life, and then of course the witch doctors are going to be like, oh, this was completely out of the blue, guys. How can this have happened? Because for such scientific, intelligent people, everything's always like an accident with these people, or some type of misfortune. Where's the cause and effect? Right? How professional are you? Just a charlatan, if you ask me. You got people with gout issues, weight gain. So while protein is an essential part of a balanced diet, loading up on more than you need will not lead to extra gains. No, just extra weight gain. And look, I have chia seeds. I find protein in many different ways, and I eat a high-fat, high-carb diet. Most people would tell you, that's awful. You're going to be in such awful shape. Listen, don't let these people lie to you. That's all they're about. Liars are a dime a dozen. There is so much information and truth out. That's why I like to empower people, and I want to put my own, organization together, which I'm doing right now, because I'm going to make people as smart as they ever were. You can add this into your flour, guys. It makes the best bread. So good. It's so good. So yeah, just check out this stuff. Ladies, if you think this is sexy, guys, if you like this, opposed to, what the Miss USAs used to look like, then, I don't know, that's teetering one step to the other direction, okay? A woman's not supposed to be all muscular. It's supposed to be a man, It's nice to be toned. It's nice to be whatever. But if you know how many thousands they've spent, if you know how they leave their children and their loved ones to travel all over just to be seen, and this is not empowering women. Again, it's just objectifying it. Let me not get started with all the sprays that they put on themselves. Yeah, let me not even get started with that, guys. So where did I get this from? I'm going to leave this for you because I got to go. I got things to mail out. Your girl is very, very busy. Very, very busy. Where are we? Clean Label Project. So if you need to see for yourself, I do not do protein powders. That could be a mystery powder. That can be Soylent Green, for all you know. To each their own, you know what I'm trying to say? To each their own. Where is my Harvard? Right here. The hidden dangers of protein powder. I was going into it more. If you look at it, I'll put this link, but there's so many. I was reading it last night. The hidden dangers, link after link, article after article. I'm not, so this must, it's not all in my head. No, I'm not hating. I just find it funny because some people now, they're all into that physical fitness because they want like some type of control in their life and they think they're accomplishing something, you know? Why don't you teach people about, the mistakes you made in your life and how not to do that? Teach women to use their brain and our intelligence, and that we're so much more than the shell that we walk around in. A lot of us have amazing skills, and that's why I want to work with, single moms or just young men and women altogether. I don't want to just, exclude the young men either. But, coming together and teaching people that you're so much more, you have this creative ability, you can really help your brother and sister, teach each other what's real. I was really, really disappointed because the people that I looked up to, when I was in my physical fitness days, was just pushing potions and poisons, and I was learning more and more that they really didn't care about my health. It was just like everyone's just in this competition with each other, like, oh, let's look like this. Like, they objectify themselves because they don't have enough self-respect, even though on the surface it comes across like they're so confident. No, because if they were, they wouldn't feel the need to do that, and they wouldn't want you to do that to yourself. You know what I'm trying to say? And I was having people older than me who should have been a better elder be like, listen, you're great the way you are, you know what I mean? But they were always so fixated on this vanity, and it was like making you think if you didn't do X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean, something was wrong with you. And women, we need to stop being judged on just our appearance, right? Because we're so much more than that. And men too, I'm sure there's men out there too. You can be one way on the outside, right? But if you don't have a good spirit, you're ugly. The Most High can see with his vision what we really look like on the inside. This thing is not wanting to open. It's buffering and buffering. But you can see how many articles do we need to go through? I do not have all day. But if anything, look, chia seed, 198 milligrams of potassium, 6 grams of protein per 2 tablespoons. I know this thing is just not opening, but it's not hard to tell. You can just look up all the different articles that are out there. There's so many. And yeah, just be happy that you have wisdom, smart enough to know I'm not going to throw my money on that trash. I'm actually going to buy real food, real substance. I know many people there. It's not a big secret while people passed away in the past and they used to call it consumption. You really got to think about what you're consuming in your body, because you are what you eat. So if you treat yourself like a dumpster and you just put whatever, just because it has a label on it, just because it has all these labels and it has the word fortress, so you think you're going to be some fortress. Like, really, don't you understand the witchcraft? Don't you understand the mind fuckery that's going on here? I mean, really, they're selling it at Walmart, straight trash. I know Muscle Milk was on the list. This one got to be trash too if they're selling it at Walmart, surely. I don't buy anything at Walmart that I consume. No, 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 because it's already obvious. If it's at Walmart, guys, I ain't eating it. You know what I mean? I don't even like to buy anything at Walmart and support them because they're bad for America, right? I'd rather support a small business or a small entrepreneur any time of the day. But I know when I was reading through different articles that Muscle Milk came up and that it wasn't good. And that's very popular. And the GNC came up not being good either. But I mean, you're going to look at this and be like, well, this one's good because it says organic and blah, blah. If you think so, why not have the real natural sources? How about plant sources of protein? That's just going to help you out right now, give you some ideas. Get that mind percolating, guys. Get it percolating. Lentils, chickpeas. Ooh, there you go. You want protein? You don't need to buy none of that shit. Eat some food. You gotta eat anyway, right? You think that stuff is filling? If anything, it's gross. It's like baby formula. It's like it has that nasty chalky taste, guys. It's gross. You don't know what the hell they're grinding in that shit. You know what I mean? 15 best plant-based proteins. I'm not into tofu and none of that. Estrogen, stay away. Lentils, red or green, contain plenty of protein. 8.84 grams of protein per half a cup. Chickpeas, peanuts, stay away, that's trash. Almonds, 16.5, nuts, seeds, all that, amazing. 16.5 grams of protein per half a cup. And a great source of vitamin E, which is great for the skin and the eyes. Quinoa, you can put that in a food grade bucket, guys, just like what I'm doing here, especially with the times that we're living in. Everyone's like, oh, we got to store our food, we got to store our food. Quinoa, spirulina is really great, has a lot of B vitamins. Chia seeds came up, I just showed you. Chia. It's not just a plant, guys, the seeds. Hemp seeds are great too. So, and omega-3 fatty acids, beans with rice. I'm not into potatoes. I'll have to do a video on solanine. That's why they push potatoes and everything in America, right? Protein-rich vegetables. You got broccoli, kale. You got Ezekiel bread. Look at that. Ezekiel bread, so biblical. It's a nutrient-dense alternative to traditional bread. I'll have to look that up, guys. It is made from barley, wheat, lentils, millet, and spelt. I love that. I love that. Ezekiel bread is an excellent choice for bread lovers who want a more nutritious way to eat toast or sandwiches. So true. That's why I add this to the flour, and I'll make it that much more nutritious and delicious for you. Just saying. Just saying, guys. You don't need all this stuff. I'll put this just to prove my case. I go into a lot of different topics. I don't want to make each video too long, and nor do I have that type of time, especially on a Monday, guys. It's like manic Monday. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Please, this is, this can apply to men too, but women, we put way too much pressure on ourselves to look a certain way. And believe me, the real men that I've spoken to, they can go without this. They need something a little softer. And just look at so-called people who are transitioning. Do you think they go out of their way to look like that, or they try to look more feminine? Right? They're going to end up taking all the men, guys, if you don't knock it off and stop trying to look like a man, because there will be a hefty price to be paid. And this was all inspired by someone that I can see is on a collision course. Right? I can see is on a collision course, and that's what happens when we are so vain. Right, that it'll come back to bite us, right? It'll come back to bite us because this person is already getting treatment for certain conditions that I can already see is on a trajectory to the big C. Okay, so I don't wish that on anyone, because we already lost a few members of my family to that. But again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can lead a man or woman to the truth, but you can't make them think. Right? I'm noticing that. Thank you so much. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Stay smart, stay blessed, and I'll talk to you soon.